Hi everyone. I'm just getting sorted out here. There we go. Give a few minutes for everybody to get in. I just decided to come on this evening and spend some time with everybody, seeing as how Lisa couldn't be here. Our poor Lisa is terribly sick. Hello, Julie. I'm just saying it must be in the middle of the day there. Is that right? Is it the middle of the day for you? Yeah, Lisa's sick. So, but she's feeling better. She said she just was wore out. Hi, Beverly. She said she just did not feel up to streaming tonight because it takes, I don't know, it's not hard to stream. It just takes a while. 9:40. Oh, in the morning. Okay. Well, I know that Kylie made the comment that when we stream at 7 o'clock at night, she's just barely waking up. So I'm just tearing out the pages that I want to stamp on. I'm going to stamp a bunch of stamps to take with me. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Nettie. Tonight I'm just gonna, you know how I stamped yesterday and cut out the little dragonfly? Well, rather than try to tote stamps on our trip, I thought I would just go ahead and stamp on a bunch of pages. I'm not going to try to cut them out right now. I will just cut them out later, because that way they're done. Yeah, 3 a.m. the next day. Hi, Cheryl. And Jude, hi. I was telling everybody that Lisa's feeling better, but she's just not up to par as far as trying to come on and do a live stream. So I said I would stream. I might not stay on real long. I'm tired today too. I've been trying to pack stuff and get ready and figure out. We've got a lot going on this week, between eye doctors and all that kind of stuff. So Jeff's been loading and I've been packing, and we've been trying to figure out food. And oh, thank you, Jude. Yeah, I do appreciate those thumbs up. No, I didn't see that post, Julie. I haven't actually been on the computer much. Huh. A great aunt. How fun. Hi, Patricia. But you found it. Oh, you had a break. Okay. I was going to say, it didn't disappear, because I've heard people have been having a little trouble. Not with my channel so much, as that other channels have been kind of not always there. That's awesome, Kendra. Anyways, I just, I do this little, I like this little Oh, this little thing is a dragonfly. My goodness. So I just was going to stamp a bunch of them, and then I pulled out some other stamps to try. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a silicone baking mat. And if you're going to do a lot of stamping, oh, the satin chat journaling. Yep, nope, it's just under me, Julie. Partially because when I started my channel, I already had an account. So it just started with the way my account was. Hi, Holly. But I figured if I just spent some time stamping, then when I'm sitting around in the evenings after we've driven, then I can cut them out. Oh, and you'll get to have a little one again. That's another good thing, Kendra, is to have a little one around. I'm not a big baby person. I can take them or leave them. But they're always more fun when they're little. Well, that's not going to fit. It's cold. It's cold there. Well, it's not here. I'm having to pack 2 kinds of clothes because I have no idea what we're going to get into by November. Since we won't be home until almost the first week of November, I have to kind of plan on... Okay, there's not enough room on that. I have to kind of plan on it being cold. Yeah, these are some of my favorites. This one has been well used. This one I haven't used a lot. It's supposed to be for something. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to use it. Some kind of folded thing. Doesn't really matter to me. I just am going to use it however I'm going to use it and cut it up. Hi, Becky. I have to in a few minutes I'll show you the other. I pulled other things. The thing of it is I'm going to stamp on book pages, and I'm going to stamp on oops, that one was wiggly. Pattern tissue and tissue paper. I thought I would just do each stamp on some of everything, and that way it will be done. Kind of a boring stream, but I figured y'all could keep me company. I would think so, Becky, after crawling around doing the floor. Floors are hard. Okay, so that did not, oh dear. I have tape over here from where I cleaned my jelly plate, and it's stuck up there, and it's making kind of a big old mess. Well, it's done now then, right, Becky? It's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. The molding really makes the floor, though. Jeff changed the moldings in here a little bit. We because the floors, when he redid them, he couldn't get right up to the edge, of course. So he he added an extra quarter round or shoe molding, and it really made a big difference in how the floors looked. Well, yes, Becky, but you also need to rest. That's, you know, there is that too. I must have just wadded that up. Oh, it's really interesting. Ugh. That's right, Becky. It is the little bits. I thought this might be pretty if I was trying to do something kind of vintagey. Okay, now I know I had my stamp cleaning pad. Holly, I am making stamped images for nothing specific. What I said was that I wanted to do a bunch of images on, you know, yesterday I used the little dragonfly on book pages. Well, I have to sit and cut them out. And since we're going to be traveling and I'm going to have time in the evenings and stuff to sit and do stuff like fussy cutting things, I thought I would just get a bunch of stuff stamped on book pages so that I can cut them out after the fact. That's my plan. Yeah, travel art kit. Yep. I've got some things already packed up. I was thinking about it today. I have these things right in front of me that I use all the time, and I will probably just scoop them up and put them in a tub to take with me, because you know, the things you use all the time, it's kind of like it'll be easier if I just have it already ready. If I just grab them all. I've sort of tried to plan out projects and plan out keeping myself busy, because while Jeff's in Santa school, I won't have much to do those days. There will be times when we want to get in and rest, but you know, I can't just sit. I've never been able to just sit. So and you're right, Becky, if we hadn't done if Jeff hadn't done our floors, we couldn't have afforded this house. That's, I mean, paying for the house is one thing, but paying for the repairs, I mean, the roof was bad enough. I mean, there's some things you have to let someone else do. It just, that's the way it works. But anyway, so I'm stamping on book pages, and then I'm stamping on tissue. Now, with the book pages and the tissue, I could come back and watercolor them. Probably won't, because I'm usually pretty happy just the way they are. But oops. Well, and when you're camping, you're supposed to sit and relax. I packed a couple of books to read. I haven't read in forever. All of those things that, you know, don't get done because you're working all the time. Yeah, Julie, I use a lot of tissue paper too. I mean, I used those book pages the other day, but I like tissue paper, and because that way then they're also ready. I need to get a new bottle of Stays-On cleaner, it looks like, though. That one's not as potent anymore. Now we're going to see how this works, because I haven't used this in a long time. But I thought it has, you know, 6, 8 tiny little flowers. Oh, that didn't work very well. That may be why I haven't used this one a lot. Yeah. Let's try it on the tissue paper. Julie, that was pattern paper from a sewing pattern. That tissue that creamy color, it's pattern tissue. Yeah, I don't particularly like this one. It's probably why I haven't used it much. Yeah, we'll just the worst of it all is that I had patterns I got rid of before we moved from South Dakota. I went through, and anything I hadn't used in a while, and because I wasn't sewing, I just got rid of it all. And then I come and I want the pattern tissue. So, oh well. I'm not sure I've ever used this one. Doesn't look like it. Hi, Susan. Oh, Janet is here. Hi, Janet. Mindy, did I say hello to you? I hope so. I didn't see Janet pop in either. Hi, guys. Yeah. That kind of leaves something to be desired on the book paper too. So, you know, it doesn't, they're not always perfect. Ah. And it's better on a plain paper. You liked that one on book paper? It's all right. It's just not as, I don't know, it doesn't show up as much. I don't think it's as striking on the book paper as some of the others. I have a pansy collection, Susan. I have always collected pansies. That pansy, this one, this big one, I have actually used that stamp and made with on t-shirts. On fabric with fabric ink, and I really liked it. This one is going to be really pretty on the sewing pattern paper, I think. Very vintagey. Ugh. Don't wiggle when you stamp. There we go. And here they don't grow very well at all. My late sister-in-law loved them. She just loved pansies, and getting them to grow here is very difficult. Yeah, the big one is one of my favorites. I have some pansy stamps that you stamp with 3 different colors, or, you know, in layers. But because they're layered, each layer has a different look, which kind of, I didn't think it would work for what I wanted to do with these tonight. Seems to me that I get about 3, and then I make one that's boo-booed. There we go. Yeah, they have, you gotta have them here in the winter time. That's, and they don't like the sun, real hot sun. They like kind of a little sun, but not a lot. Just, okay, so that is just, oh, okay, Susan. These are what I really want to try on the book paper and see how they look. Becky, are you making cards or are you just resting? We'll see how they look. I don't know how they look. These are one of my favorite sets as far as regular stamping, but whether or not they'll look good on the book pages, I don't know. Oh, I think so. Especially when I go and cut them out. Oh dear, that's not a good thing, Becky. Yeah, when I put my when I put the paper for when we swapped the paper, I put the names, the envelopes with the paper so that I would have everybody's name, because I knew I was gonna like really want to know whose paper it was. Oh, yeah, see, I didn't push all the way down. I'm not the best stamper in the world. It's been one of those things. I've never been really great at it. Now you're going? Oh, now you're going for your coffee. Okay. Yeah, see, now it's pretty. I think they'll be pretty even if I just tore them out too. So I may tear some, I may fussy cut some. I just want to get them. And it's not like I don't have enough book pages. What's everybody else doing this evening? Besides watching me make a mess. Oh yeah, I love this stamp. That's a good idea, Julie. I stamp words all the time because that way I've got them. Your idea of holding the other stamps together with a rubber band is a really good idea too. Let's turn this upside down and put this part. Finish it mechanical. Oh! Mine always gets so fat. Dude, but I swear they just grow. And then you can't get them closed. Well, do some of both, Julie. That way you've got the words. I also use sticker paper. That way the words are on multiple things. And that way you've got, because it takes time to get the word together. If you stamp it on multiple substrates, then you've got it for different projects. That is gorgeous. This is alligator mouth at the extreme. Yep, Jude. Every time I make something, it seems that alligator mouth something fierce. Well. Yeah, I really like this one. The butterflies are really pretty too. I have a set of, what do you call those? Leaves that have the same look as the wings on these butterflies. Skeleton leaves, I think is what they're called. Kendra, you know, you're you know, I haven't heard from her either, Becky, or seen her in any of the lives, so I really do not know. Let's do this butterfly. If I do that one that way, can I get this one on there too? It's not like I don't have plenty of pages. Oh, that sounds like a fun thing to do, Jude. Hi, Arlene. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Yeah, it's like that. I thought, okay, I am taking out all these pages for my book for the August challenge, the book with all of the painty paper in it that I did last month. The silly thing is cracked way open. It's so full. Oh, that's gonna be so yummy. Yep, yep, yep. I've been going to, dude, I just haven't had chance. I want to use, I'd really like to do one butterflies, one dragonflies, and one in birds, so that I have, you know, multiple different things. But I think I'm going to do some more of these butterflies. Becky, that would be good. Hi, Tanya. Oh, great. I'm glad. I don't know if some of you know, but Lisa usually streams on Monday nights, and Lisa is not feeling well, and she was on earlier and said she was feeling better, but just not up to streaming. So, and part of it is that when you stream, she's got to talk, and she's coughing. So that is one thing about those click stamps. You have to I have to sometimes use capital letters and lowercase letters to get all of a word, especially like if I've got 3 E's in a word. That's one of the... Oh, Kendra, you'll have to finish it. Kendra, did your husband ever get his new sewing machine to work? Or has he put it up and said, nope? I think this tissue was cut when we did the stamped image swap. Well, he'll go back to it. I'm sure he will. You think the coffee will wake you up, Susan? Oh, that got a little crease in it from the paper being creased. Oh. One of these days, I want a big stamp head so that these stamps don't have to be worked around and around and around. Okay. Oh dear. I think doing a journal with all napkins and stamped images would be pretty. That Copic binding that Hannah taught us last month, Kendra, might work if your spine is not too big. That's, I want to do some more of that Copic binding because I really liked how my book laid. Mindy, are you working on anything? Janet, what are you working on? Well, with that Copic binding, you don't need a spine. You just need the front and the back cover, like on the triangle book. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Ooh, for Megs Lockley? Janet? She's a sweetie. She did something here recently. What was it? It was really interesting. Oh, I know what it was. She was just jelly plating some tags. But she was getting some real interesting colors and textures. It was an interesting video. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, it was with her mini gel plate. Okay. I lost book pages on the floor again. Oh, dear. Oh. There. I wasn't sure how these different stamps would look on the book pages. I mean, they're different than the little one that I use, so I'm very pleased. Yeah, Kendra, we want to see. Of course we want to see. I want to do some more Copics with the way Hannah did her longer stitches in the middle and that kind of thing. I thought that was really cool. Okay, so that one's full. I gotta have another one. Okay, that's good. It would help if I cleaned up my desk before I decided to do this. Okay. Janet, I'm thinking about doing that, but I'm thinking about, instead of watercolor, using my Inktense pencils, because I want to use these as collage pieces. And I don't like when water reactivates. So if I use the Inktense and make sure that they're definitely wet, then they ought to be okay for collage. Because I could do that to the tissue too. Hi, Emma. We had chicken and steamed vegetables. I was lazy. The girls put away. Just we have to put everything up because, you know, it's hurricane season. We could have a hurricane while we're gone. So nothing can be outdoors. We just can't make my brother-in-law come and take care of all that mess if it were to get bad. So oh, it's warm in here tonight. Thank you, Jude. I'm just surprised at how well this is going. Okay. I'm going to do a little one next. That just is wearing me out. I'm just so glad I can read the chat these days. It was getting so hard to read chat, and I kept getting it closer and closer and closer, and it still wasn't close enough. What I really want is some butterfly punches. I have butterflies that you can put through your Big Shot, but I don't have any punch. I have only one little tiny punch. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get Jeff to turn the air down. Or just put it down one at a time, and I'll just holler at you to do another one in a minute. But I'm losing my glasses because I can't keep them on. My glasses are sliding off my face. Okay. There's that. Was I talking to myself? Hi, Mina. This set is pretty old. This is a 2001 set. But I'm sure that there are pretty butterflies out there. Just maybe not these. Whew. Thought I was going to melt. Yeah, you could cut them, you could layer them. There's just the big thing is that by having them done, I've got time while we're on our trip. The other thing is that when Jeff's driving, I can't sleep. I don't sleep when he drives. I'm not real good at sleeping in the car unless I'm really tired. And so there's a lot of things I do when we're driving down the road. Okay, that should be enough of those. Yeah, let's stick 1 or 2 on here. So I need stuff to keep my hands busy. I might, like I said, Jude, I might use my Inktense pencils instead of watercolors. I probably will leave a bunch of them just plain. Just because they will go over things. That one was all wiggly. Like when I collage over painty paper or over a napkin or something like that. Well, I didn't bring, I'm not bringing the whole craft room, but I did bring quite a bit. I haven't finished packing yet, so I will have to admit that I kind of filled up some space. But the other thing is you know, the old motorhome before we got in the wreck, it had my studio in it. So when Jeff was off doing something, I had my glass so that I could work. And this camper does not have that. So but I am taking my camera, so hopefully I can make a few videos. That's the plan anyways. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, just means it's a plan. Oh, thank you, Holly. Yes, Jude, the ink tints are, and once they're activated fully, they're permanent. Now you do have to get them completely wet, but the thing is you can take a water brush like this. This is not an ink tints pencil, but if you take a water brush like this and when it's got water in it and go like this on the ink tints pencil and pick it up, you can use them to paint with. So I don't use them very much, but okay, good night, Becky, hon. Rest, dear. I'm sure that you need it. Now, all watercolor pencils are not the same. The ink tints ones are the only ones I know of that are permanent after the fact. And you got to make sure that you get it completely activated or it does not. It is not permanent. So that's something you need to really be careful with. Aqua Spectrum, and they work the same way. Thank you, Jude, because like I said, I didn't know. The ink tints are very pricey, and it depends on the set you get. It's one of those things that if you can get with a coupon, it's a really good idea. Or get for a special occasion, which is what I did. Birthday present or something. Oh no, it's probably the E too. That's not good. Pencils are still way less than the blocks. Yes, Susan, and if I used my pencils more, I might like to have the blocks, but because I don't use them enough, I have not invested in the blocks. But they're on my wish list. You know how things go. If I'm really good and do what I've been doing, and actually make it to 2020, I might get those for my Christmas present. I think Hobby Lobby does, Mina. I'm not going to guarantee it by any means, but I think Hobby Lobby does. Oh, speaking of that, yesterday in my live stream, I used this 16th inch punch. Ooh. Okay, Spectrum. I'm going to have to look at those. Emma, I would like it to be about 51. This 16th inch punch, guys, I had to go to Hobby Lobby today because I need a cutting blade for my cutter. We're going to go off. I'm going to have to go somewhere else later because I didn't want to go to 2 stores today. But Hobby Lobby, I checked, has that 16th inch punch. Just so y'all know, since we were discussing it yesterday. Thank you, June. I would appreciate it. I'm on a spending freeze right now, but and I'm gonna tell you what, guys. I was going down the aisle in Hobby Lobby today, and this die jumped into my buggy. It just jumped right in. And I went back. They did not have the blade. I need one of these little things. This one's wearing out. And I thought I had another one, but I went to change it for the trip, and I can't find it. So I must have used it. Which is, you know, doesn't surprise me that I used it. And of course Hobby Lobby didn't have that style because that's the old styles. Michael's has the he's called the Money Fairy. Oh yes, I know. Uh-oh, I need some more of that. Okay. The anyways, I put it back. I didn't get it. I did not get that die. I put it back. I couldn't get my blade. I didn't want to go somewhere else to get the blade. That particular blade is older style, so sometimes they're hard to find. And Hobby Lobby usually has it, and there was a spot for it. It just was empty. So I'll have to go back and Derwent ink tints at Michael's. Okay, guys, so Susan says the Derwent ink tints at Michael's, and I started to tell you they have this 16th inch punch at Hobby Lobby. Thank you, Julie. I'm usually up by 8 a.m., just not up in the middle of the night. By 10 o'clock, I turn sort of into a pumpkin. And, Jada, yeah, the Money Fairy, is kind of dependent upon some other things around here right now, so. I did get my, I think I told y'all yesterday, I got my surgery date for my other eye, so I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, Emma, if we're up on live, you have to come in and visit. That's just the rules. You have to visit. Okay, I think I'll do this big one. This last big one. I don't very often catch Mary. I catch her at the last, the very end of her mornings, because I get up early, but I have other things that I do in the morning, so I don't tend to catch Mary. All the time, or I come in right when she's getting ready. Susan, do they have the blocks? Because if they do, the Money Fairy might come for Christmas. And then, oh yeah, uh-huh. Emma, that's a definite thing, is to If you're sitting sewing, I like to watch videos, and when I'm knitting, I like to watch videos too. Of course, I watch videos when I go to bed too. I don't sleep real easily, so it's always good. This one is a really pretty one on the book pages. Okay. Well, see, and that's sometimes true. Now, the other thing, though, is to make sure that the sets have the same number of blocks or pencils in them. That's something to always consider. I think we ought to maybe do some kind of embroidered pages. I think that would be fun. I have a friend in Iowa that's doing I think it's 20 blocks. I think it's 20. She has to use 2,020 different embellishments. They are crazy quilt blocks. She's doing a hexagon, and they're just stunning, just stunning. And she's about to get it done. I think they had to do 20 blocks, but they had to, over the course of, and she's been working on it for a while, they have to use 2,200 embellishments. Wow. That is pricey. That's probably why I don't have them. Well, congratulations on losing the weight, Emma. I need to do that. For getting in and out of the store, Nettie? It's only the first time. It's not even the middle of the month yet. We have more than 3.5 months left to go. That's the hard part. Mom used to make a lot of lingerie for us, bras, undies, the whole 9 yards. But it's gotten to where it's not the things I like to wear, so she doesn't do that anymore. Also, the materials have gotten harder to find. These are going to be pretty. I just think these are going to be pretty. Oh, Holly, I did that in a matter of a couple of months. It was 38 pounds I gained. What was really weird is I gave up Coke at the same time, and that didn't help any. But that's true, right? Um, I did have to go buy clothes this week. I've been avoiding it and avoiding it and avoiding it, but my jeans had become worse than holy. They're so threadbare you can't mend them. And going on this trip, I knew that I had to have some long pants. So I went out hunting, and I did find I got 2 pair of men's jeans because I can't find women's jeans that are cotton, which is just amazing to me. Okay. Okay, I want to do that one and this one. But Holly, oh yes, Coca-Cola. Yes, Susan. Oh, yep. Yes, yeah. I gave up the Coke to drink. I was drinking a 2-liter bottle of Coke every day, and that much salt and stuff is not good for you. So I quit drinking it. Oh, that one's not gonna really fit there. But yes, that's funny, Susan. I wear them some, Susan, but with a real long shirt. I don't like to wear them because there again they have polyester in them, and it can be really bad thing if you've got polyester in your clothes on a torch. It's only gonna let me do 2. So but Holly, I think that you should not feel defeated, because that happens to everyone, and that will sort of go away over time. A few years ago, I had some surgery, and they told me I would lose 30-40 pounds because of the surgery. Well, I didn't eat for 2 weeks, and I didn't lose but 3 pounds. So that was disappointing. Yeah, Susan, that's the thing. To sit here and torch with leathers on is just too hot. It's just too hot. I can't concentrate when I'm that hot. So it's way easier to wear long pants and make sure they're all cotton. What's really hard is sweatshirts. When we were in South Dakota, I needed sweatshirts, and they're almost impossible to buy 100% cotton ones. My mom and dad went out thrift store shopping and bought everything they could find for me the year that I needed so many. Oh no. Baby, you'll be lucky, Betty, and they won't open it until after Christmas. That's right. Size 10, size 18. Hi, Janice. Okay. I will take a look at that. I think that we have an LL Bean outlet over in Foley. And we've got to go over, I think we're going to go over there in November when we get back. Yeah, that's the other thing, Janice. Hi, Teresa. The cotton jeans last longer. That's another part of it. Coffee and coffee. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. That's oof. He turned it down and it ran, but it's still kind of warm in here. At least our humidity has been down some. It had been so humid and awful. Uh-oh, picked up something. Teresa, it depends on what you're going to do, okay? That's a good question. Okay. These distress inks are everywhere right now. They are a dye-based ink, so that means they're water soluble. Feeling amazing. Yeah, Janice, I had a pair of flannel lined jeans when we were in South Dakota, but it's just too warm here. The distress ink is water soluble. So are a lot of the Stampin' Up inks. They're water soluble. If it's dye based and it's water soluble and you try to use matte medium or acrylic paint or Mod Podge over the top of it, it will run. So it depends on what I'm doing and what I'm stamping. I still use Distress ink, but I have to, or some of the others. StazOn ink is a solvent-based ink, and therefore it's like acrylic, or not acrylic, alcohol. It's solvent-based or alcohol-based kind of thing, and therefore when it's dry, it's permanent. Now, has anybody got archival pads? Because I believe the archival pads are also permanent, and I don't have one of those, and so I'm not sure. Yes, thank you, Jude, and thank you to my Moddies for watching those things. Okay, Julie, is the hi Vicky, are the archival pads permanent when they're dry? They take a little longer to dry, don't they? This dries very quickly. I mean, quick. Archival is permanent. So both the StazOn and the archival inks can be used and then put stuff over the top of them. And that's something that you have to think about if you're going to use them, like in collage. And I do a lot of collage, so that's what I use. Especially if I'm stamping on the tissue paper, I use something that's permanent, because otherwise you end up with a mess when you go to collage. Yeah, Teresa, I like this. I keep the StazOn pad on my table all the time. The one thing about StazOn ink is that it is a little smelly, and your ink pad will dry out quickly if you leave it open. Like this one is going to get dry tonight because I'm stamping with it constantly, and it's open. And you notice that when I go to clean my stamp, I close it up, because I know that's going to happen. But if I'm stamping on tissue paper especially, I always use the StazOn. So and I believe you can get the StazOn pads as well as the archival pads at the hobby stores, at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I've had these for forever. I have StazOn in black, brown, and blue, I think. Yeah, archival doesn't dry real quick, and that's the only reason I haven't really hunted for one or anything, because I just don't know that I need it. I also have everything as far as stamp pads I think that I need. I have so many stamp pads, and I have re-inkers for them all, and I just don't use them. Okay, it does. Okay, Jude says archival will give you a finer detail to a stamp that has a finer line. And I can show you one of the, I'll show you one that would be, okay, like in this dragonfly wings. See how delicate those are, those little tiny lines? That would be a good time to use that then. Oh yes, and you can use it on, you can use StazOn on plastic, and like if you wanted to do shrinky dinks, you can stamp on the plastic with StazOn ink. Okay, Vicky, they have new colors of StazOn ink. And Vicky, I did say hello, I think. Yeah, just make sure with archival inks that you dry it before you touch it. I also have pigment ink. Is that what archival is? Is pigment rather than Stays on as a solvent base. Is Archival a pigment ink? Is that what it is? You can always send me a postcard, Teresa. I won't get it for a while, but you can always send me a postcard. Distress now have a small amount of archival colors. Oh, cool. Oh, goody, Teresa. What I would like, honestly, what I would really like is I would like permanent ink pads in this little tiny size. That's what I would really like. So that I could have them and take them with me places. Oh, that'll be fun, Teresa. Where in Michigan are you? You know, we will be there in October. Yes, Archival's good on acetate. 12. Cool. Huh. I'll have to, of course, you know, I don't need anything, so. I like this one a lot. This one's cute too. Jackson. Okay, Jackson. Oh, I'm trying to think, Teresa. Call Tim Holtz and tell him. That would be interesting. I could call him and tell him. I just can't remember which side of the state Jackson is on for some reason, Teresa. So you'll have to tell me because I can't look it up right now. I ought to have enough work for me. To do while I'm gone. That was the plan, to keep myself busy. Like I'm going to have time to keep busy. We are also going to northern Alabama over the camper, and that means sitting for a week. And there's not a lot to do in Red Bay, Alabama, just so everyone knows. It can get pretty boring. We had fun, but the last time we were there for 2 weeks waiting to get some work done. we're hopefully going to get solar panels put on the motorhome. I want to talk to him a little bit more before we make that decision, but that we were going to have them put on the old motorhome, and so hopefully this will work out, that we can get them taken care of. Oh dear, Holly, that's nasty. Okay, well, that was too much information, Holly. Mm-hmm. These are going to be so fun to use. Jude, where are you at Are you in Australia or New Zealand? I don't remember. I don't remember if anybody told me. When Teresa comes back, I have to ask her where Jackson is, because for the life of me, I can't remember. You did that. Yep. Jude, I'm not going to make promises to do lives. It will all depend on the internet and what kind of internet service I can get where. If my phone is, if we have good cell service, I can probably do one with my phone. I don't know how long I could stream for with my phone because it's an old one. This one is not so pretty on the book page, I don't think. It's okay, it's just not all that pretty. But I'm not going to make promises of things I can or can't do. So I'm not going to make a commitment to a specific time or day, but I'm going to try, because that's one of the things I want to practice with, is doing a live. I know that when we go to Red Bay, we won't have much in the way of cell service at all, so it will be a week pretty much without internet, unless Red Bay has gotten a lot better in the last 3 years, because 3 years ago when we were there with the other camper, we couldn't even hardly get our email. It's pigment ink. Okay, so I have some Stampin' Up! Ink pads that are pigment ink because they were used a lot for and let me think, my brain just went on vacation. They were used a lot for fabric. The pigment ink works on fabric. So that's something that's to consider. If you've got archival pads, they should be permanent even on fabric, which is, you know, another option of stamping and printing and doing things. that would be, okay, that would be fun, is to stamp. Julie's stamping words tonight. It'd be fun to stamp words on ribbon. Jackson, Michigan is near Ann Arbor. Thank you very much, Janice. That's, for the life of me, I couldn't remember. So we're probably not going to be very close. We will be on the west side of the state, and then we're going to be up in Midland. So Jeff's going to go to Santa Claus school in Midland. Okay, that just got lobby. Ugh. There we go. I should know where Jackson is. I lived most of my life in Michigan until I went to college, or the beginning of my life in Michigan. I graduated from high school in Rochester. Went to college in Illinois, met Jeff, came home, went back, started dating Jeff. Somehow or another I ended up in Florida. Then we ended up in Texas and Alabama and all kinds of places. Yeah. Julie, my click stamps do that. Okay, Susan, Red Bay is on the very west side of the state. I mean, it is almost on the Alabama line, on the west side of the state, north and west of Birmingham. My click stamps do that too, Julie. They give me a little outline some of the times, and I'm like, okay, that's all right. I don't mind. Tupelo, Mississippi. Tupelo is pretty good sized. I don't know that it's that far over, is it, Janice? Oh, let's see what's good. Let's try these. These ought to be fun. I'll have to be the grunge look. There you go. But Julie, just think, wouldn't it be fun to stamp on fabric with something that was permanent enough? Not too far away from Tupelo. Okay. The only thing that Red Bay is where they build the kind of camper we have. And if it weren't for the camper company, Red Bay would not exist. The company builds the campers there, and then all of the supports, like the awning people and the there's a cabinet maker we need to see, because I want there's this thing in our camper called a computer station, and it's supposed to hold a computer. Well, it's so tiny, I don't know. Anyways, I want a drawer. So we're going to see the camper guy and see about making it into a drawer. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That really doesn't show up very much. We'll put it on this. It'll show up a lot better. I'll have to break out my pigment stamps, and we'll have to do some of that. That would be cool to do. Okay, let's turn this ink pad that way. These are beautiful little images. I had forgotten I had this stamp set. This is a 2002 stamp set. Okay, Vicki, maybe 20-25 miles. Okay. The last time we were there, we went up on the Natchez Trace and hiked 2 different weekends. We went up there and we drove north one weekend and south the next weekend, and hiked all the little trails and stuff. That was a lot of fun. Bye-bye, Vicki. Have fun. Eat well. You can have some for us. Oops, that one didn't stamp so well. I'm loving these stamps on this pattern paper. It's probably going to be hot, Janice. It's hard telling because that's next week. It is up a little further north. So hopefully it will be nice, but there's a little town somewhere to the northeast of Red Bay we went to last time that had a real nice Friday night art thing that we went to. We enjoyed that. Yeah, Susan, it's still like that here. Of course, it's hot outside. It was hot outside this morning at 7:30. I went out the door and it was just sweltering. Janice, where are you? You guys, I'm sorry I don't remember and I have to ask again. I'm really bad about that. Really bad. And I do apologize. Wonder. If this would show up better on this paper. Okay. And we are going to be in West Virginia, which is one of the few states that I have not been in before. Right before we come home, we are going, I don't remember the name of the town, but it's I think on the eastern border. Yeah, see, these just don't show up real well on this paper. They're all right, but they show up a lot better on this paper. And really and truly, I've spent very little time in Virginia. We went there when Jeff was doing some training, some schooling in DC. We stayed in Virginia. These will be really pretty to color with the pencils. I'm hoping so, Susan. Hi. It's Janice, right? Johnson. Isn't it Janice? In the upper elevations, yes, and I have planned for cool weather. Of course, we're also going to be in New York. We're gonna Michigan ought to be beautiful because of the time we're there. Hopefully, it's not going to get too cold too fast. That's always a possibility. But then we're going to go to New York, see my sister. We're going to be in New York for going across the state for several days, but we'll probably only see my sister for a weekend probably, due to the fact that they all have to work. Thank you, Janet. It is Janice. That's what I thought. I was hoping we would get to go to the city again, but I don't think we're going to. One of these days when we go to New York, I'd like to go to the city. There's, I think it's the Museum of Modern Art that's right on the park. Hi, Joyce. And we got there too late to go the last time we were in the city, and I would really like to go there. My sister always picks different really cool museums to go see, and unfortunately we got to that one too late the last time we went, and I would really like to go back to that one. Jeffrey finally got it turned down where it's cool. Okay, this is another dragonfly that I use a lot. You can tell I've used it a lot. It's nice and bold. That's awesome, Janice. I'm just doing boring things. I'm sure that everybody's tired of watching me stamp. But it was one way to keep myself busy. Not so much busy, but from stopping and not doing it, because this is actually kind of like a chore. It's not exactly the most fun thing to do in the world. Susan, I don't know about you, but in the wintertime here, it can be summer and winter all in the same day. I swear that's just, standard procedure for... I think Kathy Deck is over on the west side of Michigan, if I remember correctly. I don't think she's been in here tonight. Janice, I like this one too. It's a 2000 Stampin' Up stamp. It's let me see what the set is. Bunch of bugs. There's a whole bunch of bugs. I might be able to put a bee in there. I'm using these book pages like they're sparse. It's just like, okay. Worrying about going back and stamping on the spots that I've missed. I was like, okay, Tanya, you got tons of book pages. Yeah, this is a good one. I think we'll do. A couple more. I can't imagine I would ever run out of book pages. Once I started buying books at the library book sale, I was like, oh, I got so many books. And Nettie, that's going to be my downfall, is not getting any books. Hot and broil. Yes, Janice, that's kind of, it's right. Frankly, Pensacola is hot and melt. This is a good stamp for putting over painted paper too, because it's really nice and bold. I wish I had a big butterfly that was bold like this one is, but grill, and when the temp goes to 110 or over, charcoal. Yeah, that's Nina, I agree with you on that one. Oh, one more. You guys getting bored yet? Hi, Violet. Okay, Jude. Not at all. Well, that's good, Julie. My eyes are starting to get dry. I may have to go hunt up my eye drops. I'll clean this and then go do that. Thank you, Janet, dear. Yes, Violet, how is your hubby doing? Well, that one is not going to come clean, that's for sure. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I've got some eye drops sitting on my computer desk. Oh, so much better. Ooh. Okay. I think we need some little bumblebees and maybe some ladybugs. I don't think I need the other ones. Bumblebees and ladybugs will be good for today. This, I'm sorry guys, I wasn't talking, I was reading Susan's thing. She used a dish drawing mat and cut it to fit a Ziploc storage container. Now, another thing that would probably work would be one of those little silicone scrubby things would work. You know what I'm talking about? They're silicone like the hot pads, but they're scrubby, those mats. Okay, with terry cloth and foam between them, but that wouldn't have any little pokey up things. If it had those little, you might have that, and then I've seen them at the, probably at the hardware store, probably not at Dollar Tree, but they're about this big, and they have little nipples of silicone that poke up. No, not the green scrubbers. Those are kind of abrasive. They're made out of, just a minute. They're made out of this stuff, Susan. You know, the silicone like the pot holders are made out of, but instead of having these hexagon things, they have little tiny itty bitty nipple things. Am I making sense? I think I made sense enough that you got it. Oh, now I got junk all over. That I've used that on my Walmart kitchen department, or I don't know, I swear I saw one at the Dollar Tree. I won't guarantee it, but it seems like I did. I want to tear some of these out too, not just cut them. Yeah, but then you're buying, that would work too. It needs to be fairly small, is what I'm trying to think. These things are kind of like carpet. It's got a texture to it that's kind of like a little tiny short itty bitty carpet. Now those are some sort of plastic fibers carpet stuff. Some of the girls used to put them in the dishwasher when they wanted to clean them. I refuse to do that because I'll not have ink in my dishwasher, but yeah, if you could get it at the dollar store, that would be one thing. But if you have to spend very much money, then you're now I will tell you that I'm using I've had this for 100 years. Okay, it's a stamp cleaner. However, it does not clean this Stays On ink very well. Just so you know. Stamp cleaner works good. Most stamp cleaner works good on dye-based ink, but it doesn't always work real well on this solvent ink. And Stays On makes a solvent ink pad cleaner, and I thought I had some, but I must have used it up. So these are cute, and they're going to be really cute in this creamy colored paper. Excuse me just a minute. Jeffrey, do you hear what's going on outside? Guys, I will be right back. Hi, Mary. I'll be right back. Jeff, can you hear what's going on outside? Do you want to peek out and see? Yeah, I don't know. The dogs are having a conniption. And I wasn't sure what I'm hearing. Sorry, guys. The next door neighbor's dogs don't bark much. I shouldn't say they don't bark. They don't bark much. Ew, Holly, no snakes. Anyways, they're big dogs. And they'll bark when the neighbors come home, and they'll bark, if you're out there. But they're I don't know, now they're getting quiet, but they were having a fit. And I hate it when the animals bring me snakes. How you doing tonight, Mary? Hey, Mary, how does your garden grow? They're probably gone, aren't they, Mary? My son's garden just kind of up and bit the dust here recently. Nothing, Jeff? Okay, well, maybe they were just outside or something. Sorry I bothered you.
Maybe they just got excited that he got home.
Well, maybe, but they were barking longer than him just getting home. Well, that's cool, Mary. Our friends had a rattlesnake in they live out by the river. He kills water moccasins with regularity, 30 or 40 a year usually. So water moccasins are pretty commonplace for them. Here about 3 weeks ago, he killed a 4.5-foot rattlesnake. Em almost stepped on it. It was out in the middle of their field. Oh, these are cute little bugs. I like this little bug. I think snakes do not like mothballs, if I remember correctly. Now, that doesn't mean it'll keep them away, but if I remember correctly, somebody told me that. Our cat used to bring me snakes all the time. Bring them up, leave them on the back deck. Of course, they wouldn't be dead. He always brought them to me alive. I don't know why that cat couldn't at least bring them dead. Just, they would be sitting there pretending to be dead so the cat wouldn't bother them anymore. Just about the time I'd get the broom to sweep them off the deck, they'd wake up and go slithering around. I learned never to open the door. Yeah, I think that one's a cute bug. But yes, that's true, Susan. Mothballs are nasty. Mothballs are actually hard to find. Zinies and peonies, pineys. Peonies I've heard called pineys before. I've often heard them called that. What are you doing tonight, Mary? Did you get your postcards all finished? I'm going to have ink all over my fingers. Camphor balls. I think that's what mothballs pretty much are, Julie, is camphor balls. I may be wrong, but that's what they reek like, smell like. Postcards are done. What else are you doing? Anything fun? Vicks on cotton balls. There you go. I don't think that'll keep snakes away, but that's, you know. These are the intricate ones I was talking about. I'm going to try a few of these and see what happens. Relaxing. Yeah, moth flakes checking the hardware store. I don't blame you, Holly. I wouldn't either. Mm-mm. Let's try this one. I got room on there. I would not be hunting for the snake to try it at all. No, Julie, I don't have any archival ink. That's one of the few ink pads I don't have. Is any archivals. All I've got are these. All I've got is the Stampin' Up! Ones, and that just got something on it. That's really weird. Oh, it's supposed to be there. Oh, that came out pretty if I stamp it better. Oh, Mina, well, he could teach me that all he wanted, but I really wasn't interested. Oh yeah, those are pretty. Beautiful. Yes, thank you, Susan. Julia, I think that I need to. For one, I know Lisa has an archival pad that's big, and I think I would like that a lot. So that I wouldn't have to try to fight to get this on here. I have a lot of pretty good sized stamps, and especially like background stamps and stuff, because I think it would work just a little bit better with some of these. Maybe after the first of the year. Maybe I'll give myself a birthday present. That's what Julie was saying, Jude. So I think that I will I will put it on my list along with the butterfly punch. I also want a couple of circle punches that I don't have. Different sizes. Because the veins in this are there. They're just not very clear and pronounced. I think these would be a lot prettier with something else. I think Susan, she was here. Dude, I have, I have to tell you, I have so many stamps. I used to sell Stampin' Up! Stamps. And my stamps, other than 5 or 6 sets, all came as party, you know, the money you got, the Stampin' Up! Is a party plan thing. So if your party gets so much, if you sell so much during your party, you get so much in merchandise. So all of these stamps were pretty much gotten that way, except a bunch of these, and then these are not Stampin' Up! Stamps, and I got a whole lot of these from a friend whose mother really was having a bad time, and she needed funds, and I bought a whole big huge box of stamps from her. Yeah, I think so. That's the other thing. The tissue is sucking up the ink, and therefore it just... Now, I will tell you, Jude, that when I go back in and I put Mod Podge over the top, I use the tissue a lot like I use a napkin. So when you put Mod Podge under it and Mod Podge over it, it's amazing how much the image just pops right back up. You know, I haven't looked at these stamps in a long time. I mean, a long time. I've been into beads for so long. And see, these got put on the blocks and never used. This says, dreams come a size too big so we can grow into them. That is so cute. I like that. That's true, Susan. Oh, I hadn't even thought about stamping on the deli paper, but that would work. Yeah, I think that's on my wish list. Maybe my Christmas list. Since I'm going to be living with Santa Claus, maybe I'll get lucky and Christmas will be a good one. Because otherwise it'll be after the first of the year before I can go shopping. This one ought to look really good on the book page because it's, oh yeah, it's cute on the book page. Thank you, Jude. And what's bad is I don't use them. That's why I thought I would do this today. I thought, okay, if I get them out and do this, maybe I will use them. And that was my goal. Now this one sits on my table all the time because I use it all the time. A tall cactus. What's going on? Decided not to use the rubber stamp and stamp the individual stamps to put the letters closer. Ah, okay. The rubber band, you mean, Julie? Susan, I have considered that and I have taken off some. As a matter of fact, I was going to get out some of the ones I've pulled off tonight and I'm not going to get to it. Uh-oh, that didn't stamp very well. That's okay. I think that would be I would prefer them off the blocks. For one, I happen to like stamping just with my fingers on the rubber, not even using the acrylic blocks. I especially like, I took a big background stamp off and I really like using it where it fudges. It doesn't get it all pretty. It's part of it stamps and part of it doesn't. And you know what, Jude? I would really like one of those. That's another thing. Uh-oh, Mary's in the recliner. Okay, well, I hope she drifts off. I'm pretty sure she was up really early again this morning. I've been looking at them, but the ones that I'm finding in the stores here, I just didn't like, and I haven't decided if I would use it enough to spend money on it. That's for one. But taking these off definitely would make because I have 2 shelves in the laundry room just piled with these Stampin' Up! Ones. Plus I have a big drawer in my map drawers with stamps. The girls know I've been selling stamps like crazy, and I have more to sell. The rubber will stick to the yes, per spec. Plastic? The rubber will stick to the plastic? Oh, the other thing that I did with the ones I took off, I'll show you what I did, what I used on them. Yes, Susan, that snow globe is a nice one. It was big. That was the biggest thing. Well, I was going to show you what I used on my rubber stamps. Give me a second. I got to get this one back in there. This is a lean stack it over and over. It's a repositionable adhesive. And if you put it on the back of your stamp, it makes the back of your stamp sticky over and over again. Get one made from a plastic outfitter. Huh. Well, one of the things that, the one here in the store, you have to slide it down on pegs. And I just knew that that was not going to be really, okay, Perspex is a form of plastic. What I'd like is one that's on hinges so that it hinges and goes down. But anyways, this stuff really works, and I have found that if you cover the whole back of the stamp, it's too sticky. I wanted to do this little butterfly and see how it's going to work. Yeah, we'll do them all. And I've only used about 7 sets so far. Uh-oh, I'm out of books pages. Let's see if we got any more. I'm sure that Jeff would like it if he didn't have to mow. He's got to go mow in town on Wednesday. Okay, that'd be great, Jude. I know that there was, Tonic had one, but I think there was some issues over copyright stuff and that kind of thing. And, honestly, it's been so long since I really used my stamps that I just But I used some Sunday when we made our little heart card, and I just really thought it was so cute, and I thought, you know, I really ought to get those out. I ought to use them. I don't use them enough. Oh, I'm a firm believer in letting it grow. Hi, Mark. Um, I don't like Jeff having to mow too often because I think it's bad for the environment for one, and I don't like weed killer, so we have grass with weeds in it because I don't care. Okay, let's see how this looks. It's probably too fine for the book page, honestly. Uh-oh, good night, Mary. Have a nice night. Oh, that didn't. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough at all. Let's put that on here. These are pretty, but they're very, very light. They're made to look like they're almost non-existent. Yeah, goats work real well. The baby has a little plastic one and he knows exactly what to do with it. Hi, Lynn. Jeffrey said there wasn't any good football on tonight, but I don't know what he meant by good football. Or maybe he just didn't know where it was. Yeah, I'm not going to fuss with these tonight. They're not what I want for this particular project. Thank you, Jude, and thank you, everyone. Yes, very much so. Form spell check. Sheep were available. And I don't have wool to worry about like real sheep. Oh, that's cool. Okay, but we have to do this pansy because, you know, we have to do the pansy. And the butterfly. I have to do the pansy and the butterfly. Oh, the pansy's kind of pretty. Oh. Well, and we don't have very fancy TV. Our cable is pretty limited as far as television goes because I don't pay for TV. And so it might be on a channel that we can't get, which would not surprise me. But I know he had gotten out a movie because he, there's nothing on television. Whew, it is warm in here. Okay, I want to do the little butterfly because, you know, we have to do little butterflies. I'm going to try it on the book page, but I don't think it's going to be. Well, that's not too bad. I kind of like it on the book page. This one is okay. Yeah, Susan, that's true. I'm a sheep from New Zealand. Okay. That's a cute butterfly. I like that one. I'm going to need another piece of paper, though. Well, Holly, we probably all would cheer for that. The Publishers Clearinghouse ad was on today, and I said to Jeff, I said, you know, that would be a lot of fun to have that kind of funds to do with as you pleased. You know, I know the IRS is going to take a huge chunk of it, but boy, would that be fun. I wouldn't have to worry about my mama. I could move her someplace she'd just love to live. I could go and visit all my friends. These would be cute on book pages in an altered book. I don't know, any more auto mechanics probably make just as much as research scientists do. And I'm going to tell you, Holly, my college education, while I wouldn't trade it or give it up for any way, shape, or form, I certainly have not used my degree. I've used my education. I have just not used my degree. There's a big difference. Okay. I think one more set, and then I think it might be time to think about going to bed. I want to do these two. I'm like Mary, I'm fading fast. Your word stamping is considerably messy. Well, that's okay. But I like messy. I like grungy. I like messy. I like it when the napkins get all bobbled because they aren't perfect and they end up textured. Oh yeah, I figured this one would be cool on the book page. I'm gonna like that one. Well, I've never really, I'm technically, my degree's in art, so I guess I'm using my degree, but it wasn't like it got me a job. I work for myself, so, you know, there's the ups and downs of that. And it took a long time to get there. I do like this one. I like this a lot. Okay, let's see what happens. I will try that. I almost think my stamp pad needs re-inked. Let's try some re-inker. It's just dry from sitting tonight, probably. Air conditioner's on, it's hot, that kind of thing. It's got a thread on it. It almost works better, Susan, if I turn it all the way around. But yeah, it gives you a kind of like a mum or a zinnia. That is kind of cool. Those are cool. Cool, cool, cool. Julie, I think that we worry too much about those degrees. I don't know that we okay. I think that my generation, it was kind of a given. That was one of those things I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go to college. My dad was definitely not happy with me when I decided to go to photography school instead of engineering. You know, that was one of those things. But I have a cousin who is a plumber. He did not go to college, and he has always made more money than my husband made with a master's degree. So I just I don't know that the degrees that we got, or that I got at least, was something that I shouldn't say that, because I think the education I got was absolutely important for the person I am, but I don't know that it really helped me financially, if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. I hope it makes sense, because Susan, I am so glad you said that, because these are really cool this way. Oh. Holly, I think that was wrong of your parents, but that's my opinion. I think our bodies are wonderful no matter what. As long as we're healthy. That is what I want from me, is to be healthy. I ran out of this paper. Of course I ran out of this paper, just because. I think my father thought I would never get married. So, okay, that's enough of those. That's right, Holly. Thanks, Jude. I just, my son was kind of floating around, not sure what he wanted to do. And I have a son that's brilliant. He is truly brilliant. He's gifted, tested in the whole 9 yards, He's can be a pain in the he's very opinionated, so he's, got his own ways. Oh, that's interesting. I've got this stamp on here, the wrong, it's not on there like the picture. Anyways, he called me and he said, I'm thinking I'm going to go and take some mechanics courses. And I said, what? He said, what do you think about that? And I said, well, I think that's probably a really good idea. I said, we all drive cars. You'll have a job no matter where you're at. You'll always have a job. I said, as long as you don't care if your fingernails are dirty, then you're good. And he said, everybody he knows wears gloves. I'm like, okay, do you wear gloves? Nope. Okay. I said, I think it's a good idea. So, he works on cars. I agree, Jude. Totally. That's right, Susan. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. No, I don't know why my son would have thought that I would have cared. It's like I I think that as long as you've got something that, well, first off, it it is, you have to have something that makes you a little bit happy. Um, you don't want to work at a job your entire life that doesn't make you a little bit happy. Or fulfilled. I don't know if it has to be happy, but at least makes you feel like you've accomplished something. Now, I'll tell you, making beads has become a job that pays bills, but that's about it. I'm no longer enjoying it. So, but I'm almost to retirement age, so. That's good, Holly. Mark Twain said, find something you love, then find a way to make money doing it. Susan, I like that. Yep, I really do like that. I think that's a very wise. I really like this one. And I think this would be cool to layer book page ones and these creamy colored ones on the same piece, on the same project. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's how he felt about it. That because he can do anything he wants, he should do something different. I'm not into that. I'm not. I mean, he could do anything he wants. If this is what he wants, works fine for me. That's possible, Julie. I also think that he he questioned it. He had been doing IT work, and he just wasn't having a good time with it. He just really did not enjoy it. He's very capable of it, but he worked for a real estate company, and he did IT for them. He had actually been doing construction for them when they found out that he knew how to do what he does. And so he kind of got, oh, I don't know, not hoodwinked into it, but he kind of got into it by accident is kind of what he really had not intended to do IT work, and he did it for a couple years and he just didn't like it. And you know, he's more than capable of it. He's built his own computers, he's built servers. When he was in high school, the server at home was bigger than the one that Jeff had at the government office. So it's just one of those things. Guys, it's 9:30 and I'm tired and my eyes are tired, so I am going to call it a night. Let's I'm just gonna kind of, I got a nice pile of stuff here to work with. Susan, I really like that you mentioned that because that really looks cute that way. And I probably will use my Inktense pencils on some of these things. I think that'll be really cool to do that. That's right, Julie. If he's happy, that's what matters. Guys, I really appreciate your coming and keeping me company while I did this. Now I get to pack it and I maybe didn't make enough little tiny dragonflies, but that's okay. I can make more another day. But I also have some nice, what do you call that? Tissue, too. So, which I had not thought about until the last minute. I was just going to do this. Good night, everybody. I am going to go and I got to get eye drops in my eyes, and I'm so glad you guys were here to keep me company, and thanks so much. Good night. Love y'all.